to say goodbye. We are at Gamble Pavilion in Stores, where the Providence Friars visit the #1 ranked and undefeated Connecticut Huskies. And at 13-0 in the Big East, a win tonight for UConn would clinch at least a tie for the regular season conference title and extend to 9 the number of consecutive years the Huskies have won or shared the Big East regular season championship. Hello, everyone. I'm Bob Picozzi along with Megan Pattison, and welcome to a very special evening here at Gamble Pavilion. We're about 15 minutes away from the start of senior night ceremonies to honor the 4 members of the class of 2002. And Megan, we're talking about 4 players who have combined for 5,223 points and a remarkable 124 wins.
Yeah, 2 Final Fours and perhaps a 3rd one in San Antonio. And the general for this team has been the play of Sue Bird, perhaps the best point guard to ever wear a UConn uniform. Here, last year's Big East championship. Now, that was only the halftime shot. Don't forget she hit the game winner against Notre Dame. Swin Cash, maybe the most improved overall player in this senior class, has developed all areas of her game. And Asia Jones, what can you say? The most steady player, the best interior defender on this team, the smartest player, the most consistent in the lane, terrific baby hook, and Tamika Williams, the all-time leader in field goal percentage. Well, when you run the floor and get high percentage shots like that, that could be a good reason why. Impressive numbers, 124 wins, 4 1,000-point scorers in this class. And we asked the UConn coaching staff about this illustrious class.
It'd be hard to put into, like, a short soundbite how you're going to remember all 4 of them, because they're also so much a big part of what's happened here the last 4 years. They came in with a lot of hype and a lot of expectations, and it's unusual that you leave having met all those expectations. So instead of being a sad night, it'll be kind of a celebration of their 4 years here.
Well, I think they're going to be sorely missed. And they came in as freshmen and contributed to the team unbelievably. And as seniors, we're counting on them every day to shoulder the load.
I mean, when they came in, they were looked upon as a group of people that were going to come in here and do a lot of great things as a whole and as individuals. And I think they've lived up to that. They've been to, 2 Final Fours, won a national championship. They've all scored over 1,000 points. So they've all accomplished a lot of things individually and as a group.
From a basketball standpoint, you could list the number of points and rebounds and assists and the wins and the national championship and all that. But I think more important than that, I think the identity that the rest of the country has of Connecticut basketball, of kids that play hard and they're really unselfish and made a lot of sacrifices. They were excellent students and great role models, and all the things that you would want them to be, the rest of the country thinks they are. And there's a good reason for that, because that's exactly how they are. And that's, I think that's something that we'll probably be more proud of than all the points.
And they've had just a bit of success wearing the UConn white uniforms over 4 years. They are 69-2 at home. We're going to step aside for a few minutes, and when we come back, we will chat with the parents of the members of the class of 2002 on senior night at Gamble Pavilion. Welcome back to the UConn campus. I'm Bob Picozzi. We are still about 7 or 8 minutes away from the start of the senior night ceremonies. Don't worry, you will not miss a second of them. Let's swing over to my colleague Megan Pattison, who's standing by with the parents of the honorees. Megan?
Bob, thank you very much. The first group we have here, George and Josephine Williams, Tamika Williams' parents. Guys, I know you never thought this would get here. Are you nervous?
No, not me.
I am very nervous.
Being an old Vietnam veteran, nothing shakes me up.
How would you describe your daughter's experience here these last 4 years?
A beautiful young lady. Ever since she first started playing the game of basketball, I've enjoyed, watching her play and watch her mature into the game. I'm quite sure the wife could say likewise, but it's a beautiful thing.
How nervous are you going to be out there?
really nervous, shaky nervous.
Well, thank you guys so much. We've loved your daughter the last 4 years, and we'll love her as she goes on to make a lot of money in the WNBA.
Oh, thank you.
Coming up next, here we go. Asia Jones, Sonia, and her father, Otis. And now, we haven't seen you much around here. Is this an unbelievable experience for you?
It's a fantastic experience. It's something that I've always lived for. I'm glad to see Asia doing as well as she's doing. Yeah.
Now, Mom, how can you believe that this moment is actually here? She's a senior, your little girl.
I believe it. She grew up fast.
What are you going to say to Gino out there?
I'm not sure. It depends on what type of mood he's in.
Are you going to cry? Are you going to get emotional out there, guys?
I'm going to get emotional, but I'm not going to show the emotion. That's the truth.
I already told him he's going to have to catch me because I'm already nervous.
Well, Asia is the best. We love her, and we wish you well out there. Now, don't get nervous. Don't trip.
Okay.
All right, coming up next, Cynthia Cash and stepfather Kevin Menifee. Now, my goodness, can you believe that this moment is finally here?
No, I can't. It seems like it was just yesterday.
Any thoughts about what you're going to say out there to Gino?
Not really. My usual. Let's get with it.
Talk about the experience of the last 4 years here and how Swin has, I think she's developed her game perhaps most completely than any other player on this team, but aside from the basketball, the personal experience as well.
Swin's a very fantastic, outstanding young lady. She works hard. She works hard and she wants to achieve and do the best that she can, and she's come along real well.
Well, you're a wonderful role model for her, both of you. Thank you so much. Good luck out there. And are you going to cry?
I don't know.
All right, thank you, folks. Next, Nance. How are you? Nancy, Herschel. Everyone knows Sue Bird's parents. Now listen, Nance, what's going to happen out there?
Unless Gino tells a bad joke, we'll be fine.
Which he's known to do. Herschel, I mean, you're a huge basketball fan. How do you sum up these last 4 years?
It's a long way from St. Edward's CYO on Long Island to here. I mean, it's been a wonderful run. She's been all over the world. She's played in China. This will always be her home.
You've got to be so proud now. You're always known for dancing in the crowd. Are you going to be crying out there with G?
I really don't know. I feel very nervous now. I could cry, especially if Joe starts to cry. Joe Williams, I'll cry.
How special is this group of young ladies?
They're the best. I mean, the whole group of them are the best. But these 4 girls that we've been with them for the last 4 years, it's like a family. Of course, they room together. It's just a very special group.
All righty, folks. Thank you so much. Good luck out there. Bob, we're going to send it back over to you.
Okay, Megan, thank you very much. And Sue Bird, in her 4 years at UConn, has played in 107 games. The Huskies have won 103 of them. We'll be back with the ceremonies in just a couple of minutes. Huskies class of 2002, and Megan, it's a class that in their sophomore, junior, and so far in their senior years have gone 95-4, and how fitting. This is the 100th game of their UConn careers.
Well, I remember thinking that it was pretty cool. My 4 years that we won 100 games, and they did it in almost 3 years. It's pretty incredible. They are just an unbelievable class, and I think Gino said it best, Bob, that regardless of however many wins they have, the types of people and they're young women, they're great students, everything about them is everything you wish your children could be.
And in case you're wondering what the batting order will be tonight, the answer is it's the same batting order as it's been all year long when they're introduced. As members of the starting lineup, it will be Williams, then Jones, then Cash, then Bird. All set for the start of the senior night ceremonies here at Gamble Pavilion, where the public address announcer is Chris Monahan.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please direct your attention to center court, where head coach Gino Auriemma will honor our seniors with a special presentation. Tonight is the final regular season appearance at the Harry A. Gamble Pavilion in stores for 7 individuals who have played important roles within the University of Connecticut women's basketball program. First, a senior manager who is in her 3rd season as a member of the Husky program. She is scheduled to graduate this May with a degree in human development and family studies, accompanied by her mother, Carol, from Trumbull, Connecticut, Amy Twiggs. Next, a senior manager who has also been with the UConn program for 3 seasons. He's scheduled to graduate this May with a degree in history, accompanied by his mother Cynthia and father Gregory from West Hartford, Connecticut, Brian Jacobs. And finally, a senior manager who has been with the UConn program for 4 seasons and currently serves as a head manager. She is scheduled to graduate this May with a degree in sociology, accompanied by her mother Judy and father Vincent from Mountain Lakes, New Jersey, Catherine Fiesler. And now the 4 seniors on this year's UConn women's basketball team enter tonight's game, having played key roles in 4 years of Husky basketball success, which has produced an overall record of 124 wins and only 9 losses, and includes 1 national championship, 2 Final Fours, and 3 Big East regular season and tournament titles. Father George from Dayton, Ohio, number 34, Tamika Williams. Preseason All-American. She was a 2-time All-Big East performer and 9-time Big East Player of the Week. She currently ranks 10th on UConn's all-time scoring list. She is scheduled to graduate this May with a degree in Communication Sciences, escorted by her mother Cynthia Cash and stepfather Kevin Menifee from McKeesport, Pennsylvania. Number 32, Swin Cash. Miss May with a degree in communication sciences. Escorted by her mother Nancy and father Herschel from Syosset, New York. Number 10, Sue Bird. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us as we say thank you to our 7 Connecticut seniors for their individual and collective.
In case you're wondering, the name of the song you heard was Now and Forever, sung by Carole King from the soundtrack from A League of Their Own, something especially meaningful to this class of 2002. And Megan, you know, it occurred to me, not one of these players has ever scored 30 points in a UConn uniform. Not one.
Wow.
And yet, what do we say? They're 124-9. They're the epitome of a team, and they have a chance to do something that no UConn team has ever done before, and that's go to 3 straight Final Fours and, of course, ultimately win a second national championship.
And a lot of times when you have a team that is so supremely talented, the only way you can reach all the goals that you set for yourself is you put aside the individual numbers, and that's perhaps one of the greatest attributes of this team is their unselfishness.
And their poise, and I think they demonstrated remarkable poise during that meaningful ceremony. And we have a ball game to play. Imagine, what a treat.
Imagine that.
We'll be back for the opening tip right after. We were able to bring the senior night ceremonies to our viewers on Connecticut Public Television. And now it's time for the Huskies to try to extend that season opening winning streak to 28. Standing in the way of the Providence Friars. Providence will start this lineup. Mikal Epstein, one of the outstanding freshmen in the Big East, had a career-high 23 in the first meeting between these two teams on Super Bowl Sunday. And the coach of the Friars in his 6th season is Jim Jaber. Coached at Marquette very successfully there before coming to Providence. Jim has won 60, lost 100 in his 6 years. And for UConn, it will be the usual suspects in the starting lineup. Sometimes Megan, coaches, of course, will start seniors on senior night. Doesn't matter with Gino Auriemma, he starts them anyway. And the same 4 and that Taurasi kid.
Yeah, she's okay, right?
And Diana Taurasi, by the way, has been named the Big East Co-Player of the Week for the 3rd time this season. So it'll be Taurasi and Bird at the guards, and Williams, Cash, and Jones up front. Gino Auriemma, a chance tonight to win a Big East regular season championship, or at least a share of it, for the 9th consecutive year.
Well, he certainly looked very happy there, didn't he? He's in a good mood tonight.
It was a less cheerful ceremony than those in the past, and I think probably says a lot about this group. I think each was determined not to cry, but I saw a few Sue Bird tears there.
There were a few tears, yeah. I think Swin maybe had a few, but you know what? They've done this so many times now with the preceding classes, right. and there's so much now made up. The hype for this is so big that it's almost a little bit anticlimactic for them. Plus, they do have a game to play.
And the Huskies have had their way with Providence recently, although as you see in the all-time series, the Friars certainly had their share of success with UConn early in the series, but UConn has won the last 15. The Friars are 1-11 here at Gamble Pavilion, but I'm sure you remember, and not very happily, that one because it came in the Big East Championship game in 1990.
Yeah, I was going to say there were a couple of those games early on in the series when I was on the L side. They had a terrific team. Bob Foley was a coach back then. You know, Tracy Liss was from Danielson, Connecticut, and they had a bunch of great players on that team, and they were as fierce a rivalry to the Huskies as, I don't want to say Tennessee, but you know, Rutgers was always tough. Notre Dame is tough. That's how Providence was back then.
Yeah, indeed they were. The Friars have been to the NCAA tournament 5 times, and they went 4 years in a row in 89, 90, 91, 92. Those were the 4 years you played here at UConn. And speaking of that, can you believe it's been a decade since you made that walk out there?
Wow.
With Judy and Wally, right?
That's right. My mom and dad were on hand. I want to say it was many pounds ago. A few wrinkles here and there.
And so now UConn will try to set about the business of wrapping up at least a share of the Big East regular season title, and a win tonight would do that and would also nail down the #1 seed in the Big East tournament. The only team that could catch the Huskies should they win tonight would be Notre Dame. The best the Irish could do is tie them, and of course UConn beat Notre Dame head-to-head this season in their only meeting. Swin Cash will jump it up, and the tap is controlled by Providence. McCall Epstein, number 54, with the ball, and this is Chrissy Vozab getting the start at the point tonight. Jim Jaber wanting to go with a more experienced lineup, and I think Tamika Williams might be called for a bump in the cutting lane.
Indeed, that is a call. You know, Vozab, number 3 for Providence, she's playing with a stress fracture in her foot. Tough kid.
Rarely practices because of it, and really hasn't spent much time at the point this year, although she is 9th in career assists at PC with 332.
Yeah, she's the 2 guard for them, playing shoot. She's a very good 3-point shooter.
Inside Freeburg's shot might have been deflected a bit by Asia Jones, who's 5th all-time in career blocks at UConn. Asia Jones with the 3, and the rebound pulled down in the lane by Epstein. Brings it up herself. Not only had a career high 23 points, but a career high 8 rebounds against the Huskies on Super Bowl Sunday.
Well, Providence out-rebounded the Huskies in that matchup.
Yep, only 1 of 3 times that it's happened all year. 33-32, the Friars enjoyed the edge. Shot clock at 10.
Intense man-to-man defense here in the passing lane, denying every pass.
And Williams got a hand on that one, deflects it into the hands of Taurasi. Taurasi inside Williams, and she'll draw the foul. Should be Tripany, and that'll be the first of the night on the Friars.
Terrific dish inside, the nice bounce pass from Taurasi. And what Providence cannot happen is let Tripany get into foul trouble.
Tripany leads the Friars in scoring and rebounding. So to the free throw line will go the pride and joy of Dayton, Ohio, 6'2" senior Tamika Williams, UConn's all-time leader in field goal shooting percentage at 70.7%. Also 11th in career rebounds and 18th in career scoring. That was the 1,291st point of her Huskies career. Extraordinary balance on this team. First time UConn has ever had 4 members of the same class score 1,000 points. And the only way you do that is distribute them fairly equally, and indeed that has been the case.
And a lot of times individual awards will be lost as a result of that, but they don't care at all.
All they care about is that wall behind us. They'd like to hang another banner up there to go with the 2 that are there.
Yeah, and get another national championship ring. It's all about hardware.
Inside Simmons, the freshman, and she's called for the travel by June Courteau, who's working the ball game tonight with Kim Watt and Denise Brooks-Closser. There, we like to call it the national championship wall here at UConn. They don't clutter it with any of those Big East conference titles. Those banners go in the middle, but just the 1 men's championship title and the 2 women's occupy that back wall. Taurasi with her first 2 points of the night.
Nice little alley-oop. The great back screen was set. Taurasi wide open.
Epstein will bring it across and throws it. Nearly went through the hands and out of bounds, but Vozab recovers. Defended by Bird. Dribbles with the left hand. Now around the screen, Epstein was open for a moment, then goes down low, did the hard part, but couldn't finish. Bird takes it to the middle. She leads the Big East in assists. Pull up left side. And the rebound is knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Simmons of Providence, who felt that she was shoved by Asia Jones.
Well, Bird's shot came up short because she was fading away. Just didn't have the legs under it.
Taurasi finds Williams in the lane. How many times have we seen that happen off the inbound?
The Huskies have done an outstanding job this year of getting something off of their underneath out of bounds play.
Bird leaps up and deflects the ball into the hands of Cash. Turnover number 3 for the Friars. And Bird is stripped from behind by Simmons. In the first meeting between these two, Providence turned it over 35 times. That is the most of any Big East team this year. Trippitt also leads the team in 3-point shooting percentage at 43.9%. Couldn't get that one to fall. Inside Taurasi, and she'll draw the foul and get to the line.
Well, speaking of fall, Taurasi and Williams bumped into each other on that defensive rebound, almost knocked each other over, and then when Taurasi was calling for the outlet pass, she was grabbing her stomach like she got hurt, bumping into Tamika.
Her first personal
foul on Brooke Freeberg is her first and 2 on the team, and there are Taurasi's numbers. She is also 3rd in career free throw shooting at UConn at an even 84%. I think next year, Megan, with the departure of these 4 seniors, I think we're going to see Taurasi probably spend a lot more time at the free throw line.
Well, you know, even from last year to this year, she attacks so much more, gets in the lane, and gets to the free throw line more.
Cash with the steal. A reach-in foul will be called. I think it's going to be Freeberg again. It's her 2nd and 3rd on the Friars. And Jim Jaber is going to call a timeout with 17 minutes remaining and a 7-0 UConn lead. And by the way, Megan and I would like to express our condolences to Jim Jaber and his wife Kathy over the death of Jim's father-in-law Lauren Conlon, who passed away yesterday in upstate New York. And there was some doubt as to whether Jim would make it here in time for the game, but indeed he is here, and certainly our sympathies go out to Jim and his family over the loss.
Yeah, it's an incredible thing that he's even here. I know he speculated not being here, but I know the team appreciates it, and I know his brother-in-law pretty well, a mentor to my little brother, and just a sad thing, a nice family.
And a nice gesture by the Friars to be present in the arena during the senior night ceremonies, and they were applauding with everyone else, showing their respect for this UConn class of 2002. And Swin Cash with the foul line jumper.
And that was an unbelievable pass by Sue Bird. Great unselfish play. Bird had the wide open shot. Another steal by Cash.
It's like an avalanche. Cash is doubled, finds the open player Bird. Taurasi, no look inside Williams. Maybe one pass too many there.
You know, sometimes your greatest strength can be your greatest weakness. A little too unselfish that time.
Vozab Wanted to go backdoor to Freeberg and does, and there's Jones with the rejection for Asia, her 125th career block, 5th on the all-time list. Inbound to Trapani. Friars 11 and 13 overall. They're 5 and 8 in the Big East. Freeberg drives down the lane. Rebound Jones. Here's Bird, has Taurasi to the right, instead goes left. Williams wasn't expecting it.
Well, and plus Williams, her spacing, she was not great. She was too close to Sue Bird there. There you got to run the lane a little bit wider and then cut in. Foul line extended, cut to the basket.
Forecourt, Freeberg gets the screen from Trapani. On the left, Vozab. Vozab goes around the screen set by Epstein, and on the switch picked up by Jones. Inside, it's Epstein, and the reverse layup doesn't go. Rebound baseline, Taurasi.
Good team defense, Bob.
Played 4 minutes. Providence is yet to score. Jones with sweet position inside, and Trapani with the rebound. Up the floor, it's Freeberg. The pass looked like a kick by Taurasi there. If the officials felt that she did it intentionally, they would have blown the whistle to recycle the shot clock. Evidently, they didn't think it. Here's Taurasi with the finish at the other end, and it's 11-0 UConn.
Good recognition that time by Taurasi. The defense was not stopping her, so she just went all the way in.
She's got 5. So she has moved ahead of her backcourt sidekick, Sue Bird. They've played 27 games, and entering the night, 1 point separated the two. Bird with 382 and Taurasi with 381. Vozab pull up left side. Rebound Taurasi. Outlet to Bird, deflected by Vozab. Jones looks for a guard and finds one. Bird leaves for Cash to Taurasi. 10th in the country in three-point percentage. And Jim Jaber can wait no longer. Taurasi has 8 of UConn's last 11 points. Timeout Providence, 14:44 remaining. 5 season when UConn went 35-0 and won its first national championship. 2 years later, they got out to a 33-0 start, the 96-97 season, before losing to Tennessee in the NCAA regional finals. Look at some of the 64th consecutive sellout crowd here at Gamble Pavilion. Final home game of the regular season. The Huskies certainly will get to play their opening round NCAA tournament game here, and presuming they advance beyond the first round, would get the second round game here as well. UConn has outscored opponents this year in the first 5 minutes of games 327 to 122. They've outscored them by 205 points collectively in the first 5 minutes of their first now 28 games.
And that graphic speaks to it very nicely.
Yes, it does.
And well, and part of the problem, their defense is so good, they're so explosive that once you get behind, it is nearly impossible to fight back and get the lead.
Keisha Blackwell checks in and immediately hits the left side 3.
Nice spark off the bench.
So the Friars' drought ends after 5 minutes and 34 seconds. And that will bring us to our first official timeout of the evening. 14:22 remaining in the first half, and UConn out to a big early lead on senior night.
No one stops the ball in the break. Gets to the basket and terrific behind the arc. She's saying, all right, I know you seniors, this is your night, but, you know, I'm here too.
Taurasi has been the co-player of the week in the Big East 3 times this year. December 3rd, January 7th, and just 2 days ago. And that came in a week when the Huskies only played 1 game. Huskies coming off a 7-day layoff. They last played a week ago last night in Syracuse. Taurasi with 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists in a 30-point win. Although very deceiving the final score. The Orange hung around for a long time in that game.
It's a tough place to play up there, and they're a better team this year, Syracuse.
Williams down low. Providence knocked off Syracuse a week ago Saturday, and what certainly seemed like a surprise at the time. Taurasi left side jumper. She's got 10, so she's in double figures for the 21st time this year.
I think she tweaked her ankle or something after that shot.
As she came up wincing a bit. UConn switches to a zone. Looks like a 2-3.
Taurasi's got bruises all over her right bicep.
Yeah.
Which
right.
she probably got in practice, by the way.
Epstein. Inside, head fake. Simmons misses. Tripany with the flat-footed rebound. And the rebound pulled down by Jones. Outlet to Bird. 13:30 to go in the half. Taurasi feeds Williams a little bit too low. And ricochets off Tamika's shin.
Yeah, that was a tough pass.
Blackwell never quite caught her stride there. And we go the other way after turnover number 6. Swin Cash, the Dean's List student, she knows how to count. She counted 3 black shirts, and she was the only one wearing the white, so she circled the wagons.
And that play started. They got this deal because Tamika Williams dove on the floor.
Jones sets the screen. Bird goes around it. Baseline Cash. Good quick move. Misses. And the rebound knocked out of bounds off the Huskies. Maria Conlon, Ashley Battle will enter for UConn. And checking in for the Friars is Ryan Kilgore. The hand for Taurasi, who leaves with 10 points.
See the bruises on her arm there?
Taurasi, along with her teammates Bird, Williams, and Cash, have made the cut list for the Naismith National Player of the Year award. They were all preseason nominees, and now they are among the 20 finalists. Up high, Epstein gives to Blackwell. On the left, it's Kilgore. Very young Providence team. Tripany inside, nice spin move, but she can't finish, and we're going to get a rebound foul on UConn. I think this one might be on Cash. It is. And that will be number 1 on Swin and 2 on UConn here in the first half. Tripany playing the final year of her eligibility as a graduate student, her 5th year. She has had an injury-filled career. Nice move inside Simmons. She can't finish. Gets her own rebound and is called for traveling.
Well, Simmons has loads of potential. The 6'2" freshman has played terrifically in spurts. She's going to be a really good player. Just has to work on her game, and she will be an outstanding player for the Friars down the road.
Kilgore departs. Re-entering is Vozab. 3 freshmen on the floor for the Friars. There's a backdoor cut to Battle. Pass bounced up a little bit too high by her eyes. May have altered the shot. Vozab left Epstein. Wicked collision. Count it, and the foul on Bird.
Yeah, Sue tried to step in there and take that charge, but too little too late. It was a good call. See, she got there too late. A little bit of dramatics to try to fall back, but just wasn't there in time. Good call.
So to the free throw line will go 5'10" freshman Mikal Epstein of Rehovot, Israel. Has scored in double figures 6 times this year and had the game of her young career against UConn at Alumni Hall on February 3rd. Although she turned the ball over 6 times that day, but she had a lot of company. All of her teammates turned the ball over quite frequently. We mentioned as a group, 35 turnovers. Conlon for 3. Rebound inside Jones, and as she goes up, she draws the foul.
And this is where Sue Bird is a good leader. She looked at Marie Conlon and walked by and said, "It's all right, don't worry about it, it's okay."
Foul will be on Tripany. That is her second. And to the free throw line will go Asia Jones, who comes to UConn from the shadows of the Rutgers University campus in Piscataway, New Jersey. And that's where the Huskies head next this Saturday. You'll see it at 2 o'clock here on Connecticut Public Television, a game which has been sold out from the very beginning of the season, although it is, Megan, a very different Rutgers team that UConn will see Saturday than the one they've seen the last 4 years.
Yeah, the Scarlet Knights are down this year.
Hit hard by graduation and inundated by injuries. 11:45 to go in the half. Timeout. UConn by a dozen.
Of people who can proudly be called members of America's greatest generation, and not all of them were in combat. Stay with CPTV following our coverage of UConn Rutgers Saturday afternoon with our tribute to those to whom we owe our freedom. Watch Homefront, Connecticut, and World War II Saturday right after UConn basketball, only on CPTV.
Providence ball following the timeout. Checking in for the Friars, Casey Wheeler, 6'1" junior from Bakersfield, California. She wears number 50. She has the ball on the left wing and gives to Blackwell. Blackwell has split the time at the point this year with Kristen Quinn, whom we have yet to see tonight. Neither got the start tonight because Jim Jaber wanted to go with a more experienced group. Blackwell now with 5 quick points off the bench and a chance for a 3-point play.
That's what you got to be careful of. That was a nice quick move by Blackwell. And for Maria Conlon, you don't want to compound the error. You let your guy get past you, and then you commit the foul, and it's the old-fashioned 3-point play. Those are plays that you never want to make. You never want to compound the first error by committing a second.
First foul on Conlon. 3. We're making 4 fouls on UConn this half. Conlon in the backcourt. Up the sideline to Battle and across the midcourt line to Taurasi. Right side Cash. Providence man-to-man. Cash foul line jumper. No good. Long rebound to Battle.
That's what she's in there for. Offensive rebounds, play great defense, make the right pass.
UConn won the first meeting between the two, 85-61. Jones with the turnaround jumper.
Both offensive sequences there. First it was Swin. That time Age did nice job flashing to the high post from the weak side to create something. The defense sloughed off. She got the jumper.
4 points for Jones, who was named the Big East Co-Player of the Week back on February 4th, the first time that she has been so honored in her career.
Pretty amazing. She's had a terrific career, and that's the first time to be honored.
Bozap changes hands on the dribble and shoots with the left.
When you don't have anywhere to go, just dribble around a while and then go to the basket.
First 2 points for Bozap. Taurasi, baseline pass to Battle, and we're going to get a foul on the Friars.
Well, what made that play so great was Taurasi attacking the middle. She had the ball on the right side of the floor, attacked the middle where the defense is most vulnerable. That's what created the pass down there to Battle, and Providence had to commit the foul.
First foul on Bozap, 5 on the Friars. Taurasi finds someone in the lane again. Not sure why that horn sounded. Jones missed the shot. Rebound last touched by UConn.
It was an inadvertent horn, I think, for the substitution.
Yeah. Can't
Kilgore coming in the game.
The ball's in play, and I think June Courteau is over there discussing that very thing right now.
Bill Fortin right there with the crew cut.
Just the last time we saw June Courteau, she was crossing her arms to signal intentional foul on Diana Taurasi when it was crunch time down in Blacksburg in what was easily the Huskies' closest scare of the season.
Yeah, that was, I said it then and I will repeat it, that was the worst call that I'd ever seen in a game.
It resulted in a couple of free throws for Virginia Tech, which tied the game, plus because it was an intentional foul. Hokies got the ball back with a chance to take the lead, did not convert, promptly turned the ball over the next 2 times, and UConn went 9 of 10 from the line down the stretch and put it away. Loose ball, held ball, possession arrow pointing toward UConn. Good hustle play by Jessica Moore, the redshirt freshman from Palmer, Alaska.
Well, there were 2 Providence players on the floor, terrific hustle, but Jessica Moore diving from the outside created that opportunity, and that's why it's the Huskies' ball right now.
A lot of times you don't see the most crisp play that you've ever witnessed on senior night. Backdoor cut to Taurasi. Rebound batted around. Taurasi saves, gives out to Bird. Up high Moore, hands to Bird, and she goes baseline to Jones and is called for the travel.
Actually, I think that's a pretty good call. Everyone's booing. I think Sue shuffled her feet.
I think your former coach there disagreed with you, shaking his head.
Well, he's never going to agree.
He didn't agree with you when you played, right?
Right. 5
turnovers now for the Huskies. UConn shooting 43% in the first 11 minutes. They are a 51.9% field goal shooting team for the season. Down low, sweet position for Trimpany, but her shot was blocked by Moore. Taurasi up high to Jones. Puts it on the floor. Now down low catch at great position. Counted in the foul.
That play all started when Jones got the ball at the high post. Cash made a great backdoor cut. Wasn't open, but pinned her defender See, Swin had already run by there. Jones recognized it, and there was just no way that Kilgore could stop her. See, she flashed and then turn quick, immediately seal. The nice bounce pass, just turn and bank it in, get fouled, get to the line for a freebie.
First foul on Kilgore, 6 on the Friars. Into the line will go Swin Cash, who is 6th at UConn in career blocks, 6th in career field goal shooting percentage, the 7th leading rebounder in Huskies history, and the 10th leading scorer. She's passed a lot of names on that scoring list in her senior year. Great hustle by Williams to keep the ball alive. Bird for 3. The 184th of her career, 3rd best in UConn history.
And that's just a backbreaker to Providence.
Right side, Bozab misses the 3. Rebound Moore keeps it alive to Bird. Providence does a good job of getting back to cut off the transition. Taurasi for 3. Long rebound to Bozab, 2-on-2 with Blackwell. Behind the back. And Taurasi that time definitely with the kick, and they will blow the whistle and recycle the shot clock.
Providence does a terrific job of boxing out on the defensive end.
Friars have out-rebounded their opponents in 6 of their first 13 Big East games, and as we mentioned, they out-rebounded UConn, albeit by 1. Off the inbound Cash. Let's see if anyone can catch it. Williams with the great hustle for the rebound, but can't finish. Blackwell, left side, Kilgore. Williams got a hand on it. Kilgore goes baseline, and that was sort of a perils of Pauline possession for the Friars. Timeout, official timeout, turnover number 10 for Providence. UConn national championship team, Carla Berube.
And I just start giggling.
She helped hang that banner.
She played great.
Oh, how about the way she played in the national championship game against Tennessee when Kara Walters and Rebecca Lobo were in foul trouble. Were it not for the contributions of Berube off the bench and a freshman by the name of Sales, that banner might be hanging in Knoxville instead of in Stores.
Absolutely. And now Carla is loving coaching, doing a great job at Providence, and just so great to see her. One of the best.
Taurasi, and speaking of Nikisha Sales, Diana Taurasi has just moved ahead of Nikisha into 7th place on the career 3-point field goal list with 135, her 2nd of the night. And Taurasi is a sophomore, right? Still got a few games left this year. Already she's moving ahead of Sales in some categories. She just might erase a lot of names before she's through, huh?
There's a good chance that she could be the best of all time.
UConn on an 8-0 run. Taurasi with 13 points tonight. That was her Big East, her 64th three-pointer of the season. She's 5th in the Big East in that category. The trap is worked, and it results in Taurasi with a great hustle, but she was on the sideline.
Unbelievable hustle, and it started. They went to a zone and then trapped the first pass to the wing. The pass goes, and you see Jessica Moore Taurasi then comes and attacks, nearly get the steal. But she touched the sideline, and that's why it's Providence ball.
Katrina Hawley-Stewart has checked in for the Friars. Shot clock violation. That ball did not hit the rim. And that will be turnover number 11 for the Friars.
Looks like we have a contact issue.
Yep. Blackwell, a 5'6" freshman from Baltimore.
Nice strong take to the basket, and looks like right
Oh, that'll do
there.
it. That'll dislodge that contact every time. Fortunately, she found it. And she'll go to the sideline and get a little wetting solution and reinsert it.
It's always so bizarre in a game when someone loses a contact, and if they, thankfully she found it, but it's hysterical when you see people crawling across the floor, looking at their clothes, everyone looking, doesn't, they don't want to step on it, but everyone crawling around trying to find it.
Especially in the days of hard contact lenses, when if you stepped on it, it was crunch. Inside Asia Jones, up and over Tripany.
Nice entry pass from Bird. Just catch. Turn and bank it in.
We mentioned Kristen Quinn. She's now in the lineup at the point with that right knee supported by a very heavy brace. 5'4" sophomore from Sewell, New Jersey. has started 11 games at the point. There she is wearing the 00. UConn in a zone, up 30-11. Left side, Epstein. Rebound comes to the weak side to Bird. Has Conlon ahead. Takes it to the middle. Pull up left side jumper. Same spot that she hit the game-winning shot in the Big East championship game.
And she had a similar shot in the earlier tonight, but that time she went straight up, didn't fade back. That was a difference.
Bird, the 20th leading scorer in UConn history. Keep in mind, she lost 26 games to injury as a freshman. There's a left side three by Kristen Quinn. First field goal for Providence since the 10-15 mark, and right back at you comes Sue Bird.
Well, that's what makes it so difficult against these Huskies, that you can't take a break. When you score, you got to run back. They'll ram it down your throats.
Bird with 7 points. Again, UConn in a zone. That's Holly Stewart playing in the state of Connecticut for the final time in her career. She's from West Haven. Williams way ahead of Bird, who runs it down and wanted to go to the trailer, but Holly Stewart steps in front of Conlon.
I don't think Maria expected that ball to come back.
Epstein doing a good job of body control up and over Taurasi.
You can tell she's European, the way she plays.
Williams misses the shot, and the rebound is pulled down by Casey Wheeler. And Holly Stewart, the senior from West Haven, Connecticut, gets on the board. Inside the 5-minute mark, a 16-point UConn lead. Huskies 13-0 in the Big East. After tonight, 2 games remaining. Rutgers away Saturday, West Virginia away next Tuesday. You'll see them both here on Connecticut Public Television. Conlon gives to Williams, down low Jones, up and over Epstein.
The problem, you try to double in the low post, as Providence that time against Tamika Williams, and they're such good passers. She found the wide open Asia Jones, who scored and got bumped.
8 points for Jones, who's the 16th leading scorer in Huskies history. Epstein misses the 3. Rebound off the hands of Jones to Conlon. Conlon feeds Williams, who lost the handle, and Tamika having a rough time so far on senior night.
Well, that was a tough pass. It was a nice pass, but because she thread the needle. But what is Tamika going to do with it with 4 black jerseys around her on the run?
Right. For now, she'll take a rest on the bench. Friars, after missing their first 8 shots, have since made 7 of 16. They fell behind 14-0. Didn't score for the first 5:34. Holly Stewart, left side jumper, no good. Rebound, Taurasi, her 4th. Bird reverses to Conlon, right side 3. Got it. Her 27th of the year.
And that's Maria's job. Knock down open threes.
Somewhere along the line, I think in the NCAA tournament, the Huskies are going to hope that Conlon can do that. Left side, badly missing the 3 is Quinn. Rebound Conlon. This is Taurasi. Down low, sweet position to Cash.
Cash does such a good job of working inside for great position.
6 points for Cash. Left side, Quinn throws up the 3 again. Taurasi blocks it, or no, didn't hit Taurasi's hand. 2 straight air balls for Quinn. Maria Conlon getting into the 3-point act. And the Huskies have themselves a 23-point lead with 2:58 remaining.
All I have to say is bridge over troubled water or Mrs. Robinson. And you know who I'm talking about, don't you? Yes, Simon and Garfunkel. Saturday night on CPTV. Watch these 2 members of Rock and Roll's Hall of Fame in their historic concert from Central Park. Simon and Garfunkel concert in Central Park Saturday, 9 o'clock on CPTV.
That is most definitely a VCR alert moment. We'll be taping that one in the Cozy household.
Well, if you're lucky, maybe if you know some people, as I'm sure you do, CPTV may give you a copy.
Cash inside, now with 8 points.
If I knew how to use my VCR, I would set it, but I don't know how.
The TV has to be on 3. Missed shot by Simmons. Rebound Taurasi. Her 5th. Jones with great position down low, and you just can't let her get it there.
And the great lead pass from Taurasi away from the defense, so all Jones had to do was catch, turn, shoot, get fouled, go to the line.
Foul on Epstein, her 1st. That'll be 7 on Providence. 9th and 10th points of the night for Jones.
See there, right to the outstretched left hand, power dribble, gets bumped from the weak side help coming over. A little too late.
So Asia is in double figures for the 23rd time this season and the 75th time in her remarkably consistent career. Epstein right sideline, a remarkably unheralded career.
That's because she doesn't really care if she gets any attention. She's quiet. She would prefer not to go to the interview room after the game. That's just her personality.
Yeah, she's the only one of the seniors that was not among the preseason nominees for the Naismith National Player of the Year award. And in chatting yesterday, Megan, with one of Jim Jaber's assistants, Gary Martinelli, says, you know, everyone lumps Cash and Jones and Williams together. You know, it's because they're all 6'2", they're all seniors. They're always lumped. There's Gary. They're always lumped together. But he said individually, each one of those 3 is a great, great player.
Oh, if you think about how talented each one of them are individually, it's astounding that all 3 are in the same class at the same school, and they all live together. They're great friends. They have great chemistry.
All Dean's List students. We're going to get a foul here on the Friars, I think, as Epstein went down hard and is wincing in pain in front of the Huskies bench.
Hard to see what happened. Maybe did she turn an ankle?
There's Jim Jaber discussing things with Denise Brooks-Clauser.
Perhaps the knee. Yeah, well, the ankle. See, she stepped over.
Oh, and it turned it over.
Yeah, turned it over. Sometimes when you step far out, your body weight will take you over. Yeah.
It doesn't help at all if you're Providence. Epstein certainly one of their better players, second leading scorer, averaging 8.1 points per game. This is what she's done tonight. I remember prior to the Providence game a year ago, Megan, that Jim Jaber was telling me that he felt Janice Wilcox would be the best player we've ever had since I've been at Providence. Well, Wilcox played in 13 games, started 7, averaged 8 per game, and is now academically ineligible, and that has hurt big time.
Yeah, and another player is ineligible as well, Horvath.
Great cut to the hole for Cash, who's in double figures for the 27th time in 28 games this year and the 82nd time in her career. The Huskies have 3 players in double figures in the first half. And some unusual first half playing time for Ashley Valley, the freshman from Colchester, Vermont. Cash with the rebound, her 3rd. She's the leading rebounder in the Big East at 9.2 per game. Right side battle. Wants to go inside to Moore, but Trippitt denies her. Bird with the pull-up jumper. Rebound inside Moore, and took advantage of her position to use the left hand. UConn has now reached 50 in the first half, and it's the 8th time that's happened this year. We'll get a foul on Moore at the other end.
Well, what's so impressive about Jessica Moore on the offensive end, she had posted up and had position and then worked hard to get inside for the offensive rebounding position. That's just hard work. You see her panting. She's tired. She's working hard, running end line to end line. Big guy's got to work.
We mentioned that Asia Jones came to UConn from the shadows of the Rutgers campus. Well, Jessica Simmons lives just down the street from the Seton Hall campus. Went to Columbia High School in South Orange, New Jersey. 6'2" freshman who is the 9th leading shot blocker in the Big East this year. And the Friars are very high on her. Those are her numbers. Bird, defended by Blackwell. It's a young Providence team.
And they've improved tremendously from last year.
Well, they had terrific back-to-back wins over Syracuse and Virginia Tech before losing at West Virginia on Saturday. Pull-up jumper for Ashley Battle.
Well, they didn't have Blackwell, their point guard, and Jim Jaber wasn't there either.
Inside, good position for Simmons. Puts it on the floor. She'll learn not to do that. And oh, Simmons went to get up. A little shove for Swin Cash.
Ooh.
Bird defended by Blackwell. Not too often that Sue's opponent is giving away inches in matchups, and Bird hits one
was ridiculous.
right in her face. She's got 9 points. Timeout Providence with 3.1 seconds left in the half. A 20-2 UConn run here at the end of the half.
This is what I call an obscene play, and that's in the greatest sense of that word. My goodness, what a move that was. Two defenders on her, the pull-up jumper.
So Bird has 9 points. We mentioned at the other end, looked like Cash got tangled up a bit with Simmons, and Simmons gave her a little, not a hard shove, but a little one. And Gary Martinelli was telling me, we've started to play with a little chip on our shoulders. We no longer think of ourselves as poor little Providence.
Well, you can't think of yourself that way.
Not if you want to win.
No. And that's what they're trying to instill with these kids. And in the first meeting between these two teams at Providence, you saw it. They shot the ball well. Played well. It was
especially
a close
in the second
game
half.
for a while, yeah.
All right, only a couple seconds to go in the half, and Blackwell loses the handle and the opportunity to do something. So UConn ends the first half with a 20-2 run, just like they did in their last home game against Virginia Tech. It's 54-20 Huskies at halftime on senior night at Gamble Pavilion. 54-20 on senior night. Megan Pattison is standing by with the associate head coach of the Huskies, Chris Daly.
Bob, thank you very much. CD, senior night emotion, not as emotional, I think, as a lot of people anticipated.
Well, I think it's emotional. I just don't think that they let themselves totally lose it because we had a game, and I think they feel there's a lot of unfinished business. And I think when we play the last games for the NCAA tournament, then I think they'll realize that this is it in Gamble, but they know we have 2 more games here, so.
Okay, did you cry at all?
A little. I told them that I'd be the one doing the cartwheel, but I was not doing the cartwheel. I don't know that we'll ever have 4 kids that have had the impact that those 4 have had on our program, and they're just terrific people. And I don't know, I don't know.
You're going to lose it now, aren't you?
Move on.
Well, through all that emotion and the festivities, came out to shoot 61% in the first half, you got to feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, we started off strong, and then we went into a little bit of a lull, which we've been known for, and then, we go from a spurt, and it's unbelievable because you're sitting on the bench, and it's close, and next thing you look up, you're up 30, so we have that. I think they call that spurtability.
Yeah, and what kind of lull are you talking about? You're up 54-20. Well, your expectations are
20-11 at one time. Like, we had gone up 14-0, 20-11. They had outscored us, so.
Okay, you raised the bar a little high.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to go ahead here?
Back to you, Bob.
All right, Chris, try to hold it together here for the last 20 minutes, will you? Let's take a look at the first half highlights. A very balanced attack for the Huskies. Diana Taurasi, 13 points, 4 rebounds and 5 assists. Sue Bird feeds Asia Jones down low for 2 of her 11. She also had 4 first half rebounds. This time down the floor. It's Jones doing the feeding to her buddy Swin Cash for 2 of her 10. And Bird, final seconds of the half with the pull-up jumper, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists for Bird. It all adds up to a 54-20 halftime lead for UConn. Providence ball to start the second half. Left side with the basketball is Vozab. Freshman Blackwell, who did not start the game, is starting the second half. Bird to Cash, who gets fouled. Goes down hard, but seems to be okay. A look at the first half statistics. Megan, you referred to the 61% field goal shooting for UConn.
Unbelievable, and I think what adds to that, 11-0 second chance points. The Huskies doing a good job getting inside, getting offensive rebounds, although there weren't too many, shooting 61%.
Foul on Tripany. And that is personal number 3 on Tripany, who has yet to score tonight. And Tripany is the Friars' leading scorer and rebounder for the season. She went 0 for 4 from the floor.
Well, she's their most consistent player, too. And I think a big reason why she has a goose egg there in the scoring column is because UConn knows that she's their scoring threat, and they've done a good job taking her out of the game.
As they frequently do with the top gun on the opposition.
And I just saw a frustrated look on her face because their offense is even struggling running because of UConn's pressure defense. It forces you to do things you don't normally do.
Freeberg picked up 2 early fouls in the first half, didn't play again, and she hits the left-handed layup, the 5'11" junior from Waterford, Pennsylvania. Jones, top of the circle, feeds Cash high post, fakes the handoff to Jones, instead hands to Taurasi. Down low, Jones spins, a little jump hook over Trippitt, rebound baseline. Williams lost the handle, and it's taken away by Simmons. Epstein did not start the second half. We are told that she re-aggravated an ankle injury when she left late in the first half, but she is expected to return here in the second half. Right now returning will be Kristen Quinn, 5'4" sophomore, who replaces Blackwell, who departs, and she looks like she's hobbling on that ankle, the injury which kept her out of Saturday's game against West Virginia. Of course, this time of year, most teams have a lot of bruises and nagging injuries that just won't go away unless you get a long rest.
And that was what was so nice about the 7 days the Huskies had off. Rest some weary bones.
Trippitt's pass knocked away, loose on the floor. Bird reaches in, creates the held ball. Arrow aiming toward UConn. Of course, in chatting with the opposing coach before every telecast, it's amazing, Megan, how independent of one another the coaches all wind up saying virtually the same things. You combine UConn's awesome talent with their unselfishness and their work ethic, and what you have is 27-0.
Absolutely. Taurasi with the sweet turnaround. And the best thing about Jim Jaber before tonight's game, I was standing talking to him over in the tunnel where the UConn players come out, and he made a point to shake all the seniors' hands and congratulate them for a terrific career. And it just appreciates their ability, and that's from someone who gets pounded by them annually. I mean, that's a sign of a classy guy.
Down low, Cash. She spins and uses the left hand to go up and over the freshman Simmons. She's got 13.
How about that great strong turn over the right shoulder, leading the way with the right arm, the sweet left hook.
Tell you what, I would hate, and I don't have a problem because I'm not going to be asked to do it, but I would hate to have to fill out a ballot for the All Big East team. Inside, we're going to get a reaching foul on Jones, who went for the block for Asia. That'll be her first.
Check that out. Leading with the right arm, creating space, strong turn, and then the ability to use the offhand over the front of the rim. Has braided her hair tonight. It wasn't braided at the start of the game. Had to throw in that little fashion tip.
Yep, well, you would notice such things. There's a look at Swin.
Oh, it's up in the bun. Is that what it is now? Yeah.
Are you looking for a comment
there it is.
from me?
All right,
Are you waiting for a comment? It's going to be a long wait.
A lot of new hair tonight. I have to say, my good friend Brian Fortin did my hair for the game today.
Bird down low to Jones. Misses the shot. Rebound on a hop to Cash. She's doubled. She's tripled. Held ball. Arrow this time pointing toward the Friars. So how would you compare this senior night? Well, it's the new do.
Well, yeah, for my boy Brian, because God knows I couldn't do this.
Right.
So yeah, the parlor and stuff.
So what's the deal? You promised you didn't pay him for the haircut?
I didn't.
You promised just a couple of on-air mentions.
No, he didn't even ask for that. He just.
Well, he just got him.
Well, he had done. He had cut
throw a phone. You want him to throw a phone number up?
He had cut my hair, and then he watched it. And he said, "Well, what did you do? I did your hair, and that's what you did with it." He said, "I gotta come over." He's coming over before we do the show tomorrow morning, which will air this weekend. So I'm pathetic. What am I going to tell you?
There's Williams, and she's going to be called for the offensive foul. Number 2 on Tamika, and 2 team fouls on UConn here in the second half. Providence has made just one of its last 10 shots from the floor. Good call.
It was a good call. You know, and a lot of times too, the ball gets passed to Tamika, and you forget that these guys are forwards or, you know, post players they run the floor so well. It's tough to put them in that position. The defender is already there. It's Tough to stop on a dime.
Vozab, defended by Williams. Goes around the screen set by Simmons. Quinn, defended by Bird. Wheeler, time running down on the shot clock. Baseline, Quinn hits the bottom of the backboard. Bird chases down the rebound in the corner.
Well, Simmons was working hard in there, posting up.
Friars shooting 23% for the game. Taurasi for her third three of the night.
Nothing but net.
Taurasi with a team-leading 18 points. Had 20 against the Friars back on February 3rd on 8 of 11 shooting. Tonight she's 7 of 9. I think Jim Jaber would be thrilled if he didn't see Taurasi again in the Big East tournament in a couple of weeks at Rutgers.
I think he's wishing she was a senior, not just a sophomore.
On the baseline, we'll get a blocking foul on Asia Jones. That'll be her second and 3 on UConn, bringing us to our first official timeout of the second half, and UConn with a huge lead on senior night. Consecutive years, the Huskies have won or shared the Big East regular season title, and Megan, a lot of people think that when UConn starts preseason practice, their one and only goal is to win the national championship. Their first goal is to finish first in the Big East, and they are 15 minutes and 41 seconds away from accomplishing that.
He looks a little tired. Is that a yawn I see coming from Big G?
Well, it doesn't. A lot of hugging out there.
Yeah, it doesn't get tiresome winning these championships. You saw the 93-94 banner when these seniors started.
That was Rebecca Lobo's junior year, and that's when the streak began.
That's right, the streak.
And that streak will be at 9. Nice low post move by Casey Wheeler, a transfer from San Diego State. In all, UConn has won 11 Big East regular season titles and 8 in a row. Cash, the foul line, puts it on the floor. Rebound Jones, and our third held ball of the first 4 minutes and 52 seconds of the second half. That might be a Big East record unofficially. Probably at least a senior night Big East record.
Most likely. Well, there, that, Swing Cash, again, the flash from the weak side is what started that. Can't take it all away.
Jones with a little jump maneuver over Wheeler inside. Rebound Williams, and she gets fouled. And we'll go to the free throw line to shoot a couple.
And see, there, Cash. That was the end of that play, and Jones comes flying in for the offensive rebound. But when Cash caught that ball, the reason that play worked is Providence had taken a few things away. Cash flashed to the high post from the weak side, and that's what started. That's what will help your offensive possession, and that's what UConn is so good at doing, flashing from the weak side.
Re-entering for Providence, freshman Keisha Blackwell and senior Katrina Hawley-Stewart. Friars still with 2 games left, regular season, both at home. They will have on this Saturday afternoon at Alumni Hall, Miami, and then Pittsburgh on Tuesday. And of course, Providence trying to jockey for position and seeding for the upcoming Big East tournament, which will be at Rutgers. Down low intended for Simmons. Tried to save, and it goes off Cash. 22 left on the shot clock for the Friars.
The Friars can win those last 2 games. I mean, heck, they beat Virginia Tech. They just have been up and down.
Well, they started out 2-7 in the Big East, then won 3 in a row before the loss Saturday at West Virginia. And as we mentioned, 2 of those wins very, very impressive because they came against a good Syracuse team and a nationally ranked Virginia Tech team. Baseline. Virginia Tech has really kind of hit the skids. And by the way, how did the Hokies remain in the top 25 in the ESPN poll? And Notre Dame is still not in the top 25. The Irish are sitting all alone in second place and very likely will be the number 2 seed in the Big East tournament at 12-2, and they've won 8 in a row. Virginia Tech is 8-5 in the league, and they played each other. Notre Dame beat them. Who's voting in that thing anyway?
Some things we'll never know.
Of course, whoever is
the media.
Whoever is seeded number 2 in the Big East tournament could only meet UConn in the finals of the tournament should they both get there. And if it's Notre Dame and UConn, it would be a rematch of last year's final, which was unbelievable theater here at Gamble Pavilion. Foul inside.
The 2 last-second shots by Bird. The half-court shot at halftime.
And who would have thunk it at the time that that would have been by far the least important of those two.
Yeah.
Inbound pass juggled by Simmons, taken away by Taurasi. Turnover number 15 for the Friars. Bird, great no-look shovel pass to Cash.
What a sick look by Sue Bird.
15 points for Cash, and that's assist number 6 for Bird. Sue Bird, 1 point, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists away from a triple-double on senior night.
How about it? And 13 minutes and 56 seconds left to go. And my girl June Cortell with another goofy foul call, second in a row. Taurasi started it through her legs. I mean, check this out. So good. A little shuffle pass.
Bird this week was named one of the finalists for the Nancy Lieberman Klein Award, which goes to the outstanding point guard in the country, an award that Sue has won twice already in her career. You know, what do we mention? The last 3 years, including this year, this senior class, the UConn team is 95-4. They went 29-5 as freshmen, but Bird missed 26 games and Cash missed 12 games due to injuries in that freshman year.
Can you imagine if Sue had played her entire freshman year?
Free Bird will get to the free throw line. Bird, UConn's all-time career leader in three-point shooting percentage, in free throw shooting percentage. She's third in career three-point field goals, fifth in career assists, and with her 6 tonight, she has 523 of them, 8th in career steals and 20th in career scoring. And this despite the fact that she missed all but 8 games of her senior year. And UConn was 8-0. Those are the numbers we were just alluding to. UConn was 8-0 when these seniors were freshmen, when Bird went down with a season-ending torn ACL injury. And with her in the lineup, the Huskies are 103-4 in her career. Plus, her Christ the King high school team won the last 37 games of her high school career. So she's been on the winning team.
That's ridiculous. 140
times. The last 144 times she's laced up the sneakers.
I mean, that's just, I mean, those types of numbers are obscene.
Well, I think it's just a coincidence.
Yeah.
Another kick on the Friars, so the shot clock will recycle. There's a look at Jessica Simmons, who was the Big East co-rookie of the week on February 11th. Great series of stories in the Hartford Current the last few days leading up to senior night, profiling the seniors.
And their families, and that's really what it's all about.
And each story really had very little to do with basketball, which made it so interesting. Here will be a reach-in foul on Casey Wheeler. And we mentioned the torn ACL injury that Sue Bird suffered in her freshman year, and I'll be honest, I didn't know until I read today that she wound up spending a lot of time rehabbing her injury in the workout room while men's basketball coach Jim Calhoun is getting his daily workout, and they established pretty good relationships.
Yeah, who knew?
I never knew that. Counted in the foul. Opportunity for three-point play for Battle. Providence opponents are averaging 65 points per game, and the Huskies right now sitting at 67.
With 13 minutes and 11 seconds yet to play. A tough play there by Ashley Battle. Missed a free throw, but she got fouled pretty hard and made that. Shot down low, always a good sign to get bumped and make it.
Moore and Conlon combined for the double team. Battle, great lead pass for Conlon, who leads for Moore. And she draws the foul.
That play was perfect from the beginning, starting with the way that Jessica Moore stepped out to hedge the screen on the ball. Her man set the screen on Maria, on Maria's man, and then Maria unselfishly gave it up, and Jessica got fouled, but the reason that play started was because Jessica hedged out, and then they ended up double teaming the ball. Conlon knocked it down. Just terrific defense.
Freeburg departs, replaced by Ryan Kilgore, so Freeburg leaves with 4 personal fouls. Kilgore, a 6'1" sophomore from Belleville, Michigan. Moore hits the free throw. And Stacy Marin, the walk-on from Albuquerque, comes in, replacing Swin Cash, who gets an ovation. You don't think the seniors are gone for good, do you, with 12:53 to go?
No, I don't think so. I think they'll
we'll
come
see them
back
again
in.
for one last hurrah.
Curtain call.
And again, we would remind you that UConn will be back home for at least one more game. There's a foul called.
Oh, it's got to be an illegal screen.
Oh, staying down this end.
There's my girl, June, coming up with another good one.
It'll be on Ashley Battle. At any rate, UConn will obviously be one of the 16 teams selected to serve as the host for first and second round NCAA tournament games. And the first round game, if my dates are correct, will either be Friday, March 15th or Saturday the 16th.
That foul, just to clarify, that foul was on Ashley Valley.
Okay. I got my Ashleys.
Yeah, 2-22, Ashley, they're very confusing. Or we're just easily confused.
Well, it is 68-29, and it's 12:42 to go. Conlon, we were just checking the sites of the regionals.
Oh, nice pass.
Inside, Moore counted in the foul.
That's a look to the future right there. With all the seniors out of the game, Conlon, that nice pass to Battle. Check this out, the nice bounce pass to the wide open Jessica Moore, who gets fouled, the lefty going to the hoop.
Wheeler departs and is replaced by Kiana Copeland, 6-foot freshman from Mattapan, Massachusetts. Battle with the rebound. Then gets another rebound while flat on her back. And by golly, we have another held ball. This one will point toward the Friars.
She's just so explosive off the ground. She's got to be one of the most explosive players in the game. The way she elevates. Someone's got to tell her to fix her hair, though.
A lot of hair references tonight out here. On the left, Hawley Stewart hands to Simmons, facing a little bit off kilter on that possession. Rebound, great hustle by Conlon, last touch by Maria, and it will be Providence ball. We are at Gamble Pavilion on the campus of the University of Connecticut on senior night. Glad you could join us here on Connecticut Public Television. I'm Bob Picozzi along with Megan Pattison. 12:10 remaining. UConn 70, Providence 29. Off the inbound pass, steal by Ashley Battle. Diana Taurasi has 18 points. Swin Cash has 15. Ashley Battle will make it. Stacy Marin drives, gets the shot blocked, and steals it right back and gets fouled.
Well, that's why you can't worry when your shot gets blocked. It's more often than not, if you stay with it, you'll get a chance to get it right back. And Marin stayed with it. She created, like, there, shoot the ball. Don't go into the defense. Too many big bodies in there, but had the presence of mind to steal it and then get herself to the line.
So to the free throw line goes the only walk-on on this #1 ranked UConn team. Stacy out of La Cueva High School in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Scored 1,005 points during her high school career, and that will bring us to an official timeout. 11:59 remaining, and the Huskies lead it by a bunch.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the
UConn is ranked first nationwide, but did you know that Connecticut is #6 nationwide in percentage of licensed drivers per registered SUVs? I bet you didn't. Thursday, watch as Frontline examines the vehicle that turned Detroit's fortunes around and asks what consumers really know about their SUVs and those charged with making them safe. Thursday at 9.
Are you serious? You asked me whether I knew that?
Well, you know so many darn numbers. I figured you had to know that one.
Yeah, well, if it's unimportant or minutia, I know it, but not that one.
I have an SUV. I should know it. I trust my boy Dave Monaco.
Conlon headed the other way. There's another. What's with all the plugs? Is there anybody you know who hasn't been plugged tonight?
You.
How about a little clothing contract or something? Here's a foul as Moore gets the ball up high. This one will be called on Vozab. Friars over the limit with 8 fouls. So Battle will go to the line. So UConn is going to spend a bit of time at the Lewis Brown Athletic Center in Piscataway, New Jersey in the
Lucky them.
next couple of weeks. Regular season visit to Rutgers this Saturday, 2 o'clock on Connecticut Public Television. Then right back the following weekend for the Big East tournament. The Huskies will get an opening round bye.
Excuse me. What do you think that Sue and Diana were just talking about? You know it had nothing to do with what's going on in this game.
I think it's about that SUV statistic that you threw out there. Pass inside goes off the hands of Copeland and out of bounds. Turnover number 19. So the Huskies will get an opening round bye in the Big East tournament. So their first appearance in that tournament will be in the quarterfinals. And that will be a week from Sunday. So what's that? March 3rd. Yep. And then the semifinals are Monday night and the championship game Tuesday night. Conlon inside Moore. Kick out Marin. Left side 3. Marin runs down her own rebound. Ashley Valley takes it into the lane and feeds the cutter. Battle counted in the foul. Battle's winding up on the floor quite a bit.
That's because she goes hard to the basket, gets herself fouled, and for the second time tonight makes the bucket while getting fouled. A nice screen by Jessica Moore. The penetration, Ashley Valley dumps it down to Battle, who is always prepared for a battle, if I could use that cliche.
Jim Jaber wants a timeout. 10:50 remaining. And UConn leads Providence 75-29. Well, the Husky just begged to dance there, didn't he? And she said yes.
Absolutely. One of the greatest movies of all time.
Absolutely. And you know what the greatest thing about it is? Doesn't matter where, you know, if you notice it's on, you can join it at any point.
Absolutely.
Just watch it for 5-10 minutes. Laugh your sides off. 9 points off the bench for Ashley Battle. Keisha Blackwell gives to Vozab, right side Kilgore. Huskies in the 2-3 zone. Foul line Simmons spins and fires. 5th and 6 points of the evening for Simmons.
She's going to continue to work at her game, become more consistent. She could be an outstanding player for the Friars.
Had a career high 14 earlier this season against Holy Cross. Nice backdoor cut for Ashley Valley.
Weird footing, yeah. I think she kind of misstepped going in there, but it went in, so you don't care how it looks.
Simmons a little awkward on that maneuver. Rebound inside to Battle, her 3rd.
But when she gets stronger, that'll be a legitimate move.
Conlon dumps it inside, knocked away by Kilgore.
It's tough dumping it into the shorter Valley. Check out this substitution.
The starting lineup is returning for one last
hurrah, should we call it?
Wouldn't be surprised if at least the 4 seniors all leave simultaneously with 9:43 to go.
I would venture to say that he may take them out one at a time to give each of them their due. He's big into that.
Jones has the shot blocked by Kilgore. I'm betting he's going to take them all out at once, since collectively they are known so much as a group, perhaps more so than any other class that's ever been
Very
at UConn.
True.
There you see my partner Megan was, what were you entering the season?
I wasn't 21.
Well, you were 17, obviously, because 4 people passed you. Remember when you were 17?
Yeah, sort of.
That was a few years ago.
Yeah, long time ago.
For me, too.
Yeah, you got a longer way to go back than me, buddy.
But all 4 seniors have jumped into the top 20, and in Swin Cash's case, the top 10 in the career scoring list at UConn.
You know, it's not even comparable. The players from my era on this team, back late 80s, early 90s, to the players that are on this team now, not even close. They're so much better today.
Just generally speaking, the athleticism.
Oh.
There's a shot off the glass by Kilgore. Of course, one of your teammates, when I think of athleticism, Laura Lishers, great athlete. But probably more great athletes on this UConn team than any other, frankly.
Absolutely. Well, classic Gino Auriemma. At one point,
Jones, the pull-up.
a year or two ago, he said, you know, Meg, it's pretty scary that at one time you were one of the best athletes on our team. Now you wouldn't even make our team.
Oh, yeah, you'd make it.
I don't know.
We make fun of Megan, but she did score, what was it, 1,106 points?
That's what it said.
Right side jumper, Kilgore, no good. Follows up her own miss, tries again.
But see, I was smart enough to pass the ball to Carrie Bascom and Rebecca Lobo, so.
Both former Big East Players of the Year.
Ooh, Sue nearly stepped that court.
Rebecca Lobo and her former teammate, now assistant coach Jamel Elliott, the only two Huskies ever with 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. Cash gets hammered. Trippitt was there, so was Simmons.
And you know, Lobo and several former Huskies are playing on the new Springfield Spirit.
Yep.
We had Rebecca on the Gino show last week. Loving her experience, feeling so much better. Every game her knee feels better. More and more confidence she's getting, and she was out for 2 years.
Yep. There is where Swin Cash currently ranks on the all-time lists. She has also scored in double figures 82 times in her career, and all but once this year she's been in double figures 27 times in 28 games. So she has been remarkably consistent, particularly in this her senior year. 17 points tonight for Cash. She had 17 in her last game against Syracuse, but she scored them all in the first half at Manley Fieldhouse. Bird with the steal, adding to her total. She's 8th on the all-time list. 20 turnovers for the Friars. So Bird, somehow they got to get Bird in double figures here just to make it symmetrical. Not sure Williams will get there. Away from the play, a hold will be called on Wheeler of Providence. 3 Huskies in double figures tonight. Bird with 9, Battle with 9, Williams with 5.
Number 50, Casey Wheeler. Their third personal
To the
foul.
line goes Cash, who is a preseason first-team All-Big East selection.
It's amazing they have 83 points, yet Tamika Williams has 5 points. How many did Sue have?
9.
9. They just have so many weapons.
They are shooting 56% from the floor. And that will bring us to a timeout. 7:55 remaining, and UConn with a 52-point lead. Includes Marcy Zell, class of 2000, and former Husky Colleen Healy, class of 91.
And poor Colleen
Are
drove
we keeping her up?
Well, she drove here from Philadelphia today. She's got to go back tonight after the game. But Colleen, how great is this? Having played with Carla Berube in college here, Carla left her a ticket. Well, Colleen didn't realize that Jamel Elliott had left her a ticket. So Jamel said she had to sit behind the UConn bench. And Carla said, no, you got to sit behind the Providence bench. Knowing that there's future games here at Gampel, Colleen, I think, wisely chose to sit behind the UConn bench. No disrespect to Carla.
Well, she bleeds Husky blue, and
Yes, she does.
Friar black and white, after all. There's a look at Jamel Elliott, who was such a significant contributor to UConn's first national championship team in '95, and then in her senior year in '96, the Huskies went back to the Final Four and lost in the semifinals to Tennessee in one of the great games ever. Down low, Taurasi feeds Williams.
Well, and you know, I don't think people realize the incredible impact that Jamel Elliott has on this team as a coach, and Gino has the utmost respect for her as a coach on his staff.
UConn has now scored more points than any Providence opponent this year. The Huskies had 85 in their first meeting, 87 tonight. Nice move inside by Wheeler. That great UConn-Tennessee game in the '96 semifinal in Charlotte, which Tennessee won. One of the all-time clutch shots in women's basketball history, hit by Nikisha Sales to send it into overtime. And there's Bird for 3. And she's in double figures.
A little exclamation point for Birdie.
So 4 or more Huskies have reached double figures 23 times in 28 games this year. And I think they're going to...
You are correct. They're doing a mass substitution.
The next stoppage, which will be after... No, it'll be right now. So there they go, the class of 2002.
A wild standing ovation.
Tonight, the foul number 15, Asia Jones, with her personal foul, 8th on the team. Back in the lineup for Connecticut just before Ashley Battle, Maria Conlon, and Ashley Valley. Replacements Tim Finish, Tamika Williams, Sue Bird, and Asia Jones.
All 4 members of the 1,000 point club. And tonight, Swin Cash with 19. Asia Jones 14, Sue Bird 12, and Tamika Williams 7. They'll never let her hear the end of that, by the way. Years from now, it'll be, remember on senior night when we all hit double figures? Oh, yeah, that's right. One of us didn't.
Well, you know, the best thing about these guys, and this is what happens, you know, the older you get, not only do you forget a lot of things, but you rarely remember scores, point totals. You don't remember any. You remember how you giggled about something funny that was said in the huddle, or something goofy one of the girls did. You know, you remember what you felt like when you walked out with your parents to, you know, 10,000 plus cheering for you. Stuff that, you know, the coaches say to you in the locker room. Those are the things you remember.
I think we all remember making that, whatever they call it, that swan dive on the floor at the First Union Center 2 years ago.
Well, Sue, yeah,
when
Sue,
the final horn went off after UConn beat Tennessee.
It's a soccer move, yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Sue always wanted to do that, and you could see in the video that she was talking to her teammates, going, "You don't sell out on me. You guys got to do this with me."
Right side, Katie Keefe has checked in, and Ashley Battle will be called for the foul.
Pretty tough, tough assignment there. Tripany is 6'5". Ashley Battle.
Tripany comes from Messina, New York. That's the hometown of the Providence Friars men's basketball coach, Tim Welsh.
Well, you know, Ashley Battle is listed at 6 foot, and I don't know if she's that big. She's given up a good 5-6 inches.
Friars have been red hot from the foul line tonight, 13 of 16. For the season, they shoot 69%. And Providence has more free throws, 13 than field goals, 12.
Well, that's what they got to take away from this game, that they capitalized on their opportunities from the free throw stripe.
Is that the silver lining, is it?
Well, it's part of it, I think. You know, in a game like this, you can't let your team get demoralized. Obviously, UConn is much more talented, so you've got to look at the little things, how you focused in different stretches, whether it's 2, 3, 4-minute stretches of a game, what you do with the opportunities that you can control, like free throws, and handling the ball. They had 30 turnovers in the first meeting. How many do they have so far? 22. All right, a little bit better.
There's a turnover for the Huskies, only their 11th.
Providence is playing against not only the #1 team in the country, but one of the best defensive teams in the country.
Inside, the shot blocked by Tarasi, and we go the other way. As we mentioned, Katie Keefe on the floor for the Friars. She's a 5'8" sophomore back in her home state. Comes from Avon High School.
He walked onto the team, just a wonderful addition to the club.
Here's Conlon, already has 1 3. 6 points for Conlon, her 28th three-pointer of the year.
You know, Maria went through a stretch where she was struggling shooting the ball. Her stroke is back, confidence pretty high.
Directing traffic is Quinn. Right side, Keefe. Down low, Tripany got good position on Battle, but she couldn't finish. Tripany 0 for 5 from the floor tonight. Only took 2 shots in the first meeting between these two clubs back on Super Bowl Sunday. Conlon, left side Taurasi.
Good movement offensively.
Ashley Valley for three.
If you move the ball, pass it side to side, you're tough to guard.
Sixth three-pointer of the season for the freshman from Colchester, Vermont. Her big sister Morgan sitting it out tonight for the 11th straight game because of plantar fasciitis, and I guess she's really not terribly close to returning, is she, Megan?
No, I don't think so. It's a horrible injury that she suffered. It's going to take a while. Well, I can tell you from personal experience that Gino is a master motivator. The man called the father of motivation is the very own Dr. Wayne Dyer. See how Dr. Dyer uses his
final home game of the regular season for UConn, so the Huskies will finish their regular season schedule 12-0 at Gamble Pavilion. Move in the lane, can't get it to go, but to the free throw line will go Stephanie Shoup, 6'1" junior from Somerville, New Jersey.
tough move in there by Shoup. Buried the defense down low. Nice strong move. Power dribble.
Shoup will get another. We invite you to stick around after the game tonight on CPTV for a very special program, a tribute to the class of 2002. And there they are. The law firm of Williams, Jones, Cash, and Bird, or whatever order you want to put them in. Conlon, left side Moore to Ashley Battle. Moore, top of the circle, shot clock at 10. Battle sets up Conlon. He throws it over the head of Moore and out of bounds. Turnover number 12 for the Huskies.
Well, that time, Bob, a little more standing around on offense, not the fluid offense we've seen in the past.
He fired that one right through the hands of Shoup as we look at Jim Jaber in his 6th year as coach of the Friars. Jim spent the 6 years before that at Marquette. Marquette will host the NCAA Mid-East Regionals. You got to believe Ashley Valley throws up a three, and UConn has hit the century mark for the 4th time this year. Got to believe that UConn, as the #1 seed, will play either in the East Regional in Raleigh or in the Mid-East Regional at Marquette.
There's a good chance they could keep Duke in the East.
Yeah, because Duke has a chance to be a #1 seed. The theory being that Raleigh's great distance away from stores anyway, so why not keep one of the #1 seeds in their backyard for the purpose of selling tickets? And
makes sense.
have to presume that if Duke, of course, if UConn plays there, they'll sell tickets anyway.
Yeah.
But they'll probably sell a lot more tickets to see UConn play in Milwaukee than they would if they send Duke to Milwaukee. Gino Auriemma's position is, as long as we're a #1 seed, we don't care where we go. I'm more concerned with who they stick in the bracket with us. Here's Conlon. He juggles the ball and has it taken away by Quinn. And Battle comes right back for the steal. On the left, it's Ashley Valley, and she will have a chance to establish a career high when she goes to the line. She's got 8 points tonight, and it's the 4th time she's done that in her career. And as Megan well knows, she did it previously against St. John's, Wright State, and Georgetown.
Those goofs on the bench there. The nice little flip from Conlon as Valley got fouled going to the basket. But you saw Sue Bird and Tamika Asia Swin just being so silly over there on the bench. And that's them right there.
Well, Tamika got to make the walk out first. Valley, by the way, does set a new career high. Now it's 9. Conlon left side three, no good. Moore really working hard inside.
Great offensive position.
Right before Tamika Williams walked out with her parents, she looked over her shoulder at her buddy Cash, and I don't know what was said between the two of them, but it resulted in a smile. Perhaps something like, "Don't be the first one to cry now, Meek." And she wasn't.
Well, Tamika is known as the jokester on this.
Oh, really?
On this team,
I never
so
noticed.
you know she said something silly.
Shot inside, no good. Off the hands of Gail Wafili from Maplewood, New Jersey, as Jim Jaber has emptied his bench. And what do those shirts say? Well, they must say Big East regular season champs, huh?
Well, we'll find out about that in postgame.
Looking collision. Now, it's important to make the distinction. By winning tonight, UConn will earn at least a share of the Big East regular season title, and should the Huskies do something unexpected like lose their last two to Rutgers in West Virginia, and should Notre Dame win its last two, they would wind up, as they did a year ago, tied for the Big East. A year ago, UConn, of course, lost to Notre Dame on January 15th. And by the way, that's the last time the Huskies lost to a Big East team in the regular season. They'll extend that streak to 25 tonight. And then Notre Dame lost late in the season at Rutgers, and that enabled the Huskies to finish along with Notre Dame at 15-1 in the Big East. And then they met in the conference tournament final, and UConn won it on a Sue Bird shot at the buzzer. Conlon in traffic, no good. Battle with the rebound.
There's Battle again.
And she'll get to the line with a chance to reach double figures.
She just hits the floor. And
there you go. It is 2001, 2002
Big East champions.
They better make sure they win one of the remaining two.
Yeah, we'll have them model it.
Send the shirt back to the printer.
We'll have to have them model it for us
post game
after the game.
So next up, the Huskies will head to Rutgers, where Chris Daly was a co-captain on a national championship team in 1982.
And for all the folks who are going to attempt that trip, you got to
check out the lobby, photo in the lobby.
Yeah.
Chris,
what was it, 1980 or?
Those fashionable short shorts.
My goodness.
That is a must-see attraction when you go to the rack. Left side, shot by Wafili, no good. Rebound inside, Shoup, who works hard, comes up hobbling, but she will get to the foul line. So UConn will extend their season opening winning streak to 28, their Big East regular season winning streak to 25, their home court winning streak to 46, their Gamble Pavilion winning streak to 34, and they'll also win at home against a Big East opponent for the 94th straight time. The last time they lost at home to a Big East opponent, February 27th, 1993, nearly 9 years ago, when they lost to Georgetown. This is the fourth time in school history that the Huskies have jumped out to a 13-0 start in Big East Conference play, and that 13 is about to become 14. Ashley Valley brings it across, and Gino Auriemma yells, He doesn't want any more shots fired in anger. So UConn will settle for a 106-41 victory over Providence, and for the 9th consecutive year, the Huskies have clinched at least a share of the Big East regular season title. They've now won or shared the Big East regular season championship 9 consecutive years. The win tonight means they can do no worse than tie, and if they get one more win or one more Notre Dame loss, that title will be theirs outright. It was senior night here at UConn. The class of 2002. We'll hear from all four when we come back. Megan Pattison following the 100th game of their UConn careers.
Yeah, Bob, I'm standing here with all the girls, the seniors, and they're waving to all of their adoring fans here. There are photographers everywhere. What are you? What you guys, the Beatles? What's going on?
Miss America. No. You just say we're the
Miss
Beatles.
America wave.
We feel like it tonight. We feel like it tonight, definitely.
Asia, I know you hate talking. See, Asia doesn't even want to be a part of this.
Me right here. No, I'm moving away from you, so you want to talk to me.
I mean, is this a senior night you expected?
I can't hear you. Senior night you expected? It was great. I think the fans are really excited for us tonight, and we came out and we played well, so it was a great day.
Were you guys afraid of getting emotional before the game?
I mean, I was, but I didn't think, I mean, this is not the end for us. And I think that we have so much more to look forward to. So, I mean, I don't think any of us really let out a lot. And I think that means a lot. We really want to go further.
Sue Bird, an outstanding game for you guys. You just played Providence a couple weeks ago. Was it hard to get ready for the game after all the festivities?
Yes and no. You know, I think it was a really special night for us four, and I think we all had a really good time. I want to thank all the fans for coming out, but at the same time, we knew that we had a lot of work to do in Providence, especially because we weren't exactly happy with the way we played them the first time.
Now, Swin, before Tamika went out, she was the first player going out, that she turned around and said something to you, or you said something to her, and you both started to laugh. Do you care to share that with us?
Let's just say Tamika's a comedian, and whatever comes out of her mouth, I'm going to laugh.
Is this what you expected it to be?
Definitely. I thought there'd be a lot of more tears with us four, but I think we composed ourselves really well. But we'll see after the second round in the NCAA tournament.
Well, I gotta say, you come in here, I know, Asia, you hate this, but I think you look like you started to go with tears at one point early.
But I got it back when my friend Tamika over here yelled out my middle name. And it kind of got me laughing again, so I recovered.
Anyone else close to tears?
I did not have tears. They were coming along, but I was very composed.
Is that the scene where your contacts were having problems?
Exactly.
Exactly. And the soap opera.
Now, I did discuss on the air the hair. What, you had to braid at one point, now it's gone.
Well, I changed my hair a lot. I like to be versatile, and being African American, I can do that a lot. So I take advantage of everything.
Okay, we're losing control here. Ladies, congratulations. 4 great years. I know you got a lot left to do.
Thanks, Meg. We'll see you later, okay?
Bob.
Thank you very much, Megan. So the class of 2002 wins for the 125th time. They're now 125-9 following the victory tonight. And Diana Taurasi, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. Asia Jones had 14 points. Swin Cash, 19. Sue Bird, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. 11 points off the bench for Ashley Battle and 7 for Tamika Williams. The Huskies now 28-0, 14-0 in the Big East. They will visit Rutgers Saturday afternoon. You'll see that one at 2 o'clock here on Connecticut Public Television, then close out the regular season next Tuesday at West Virginia. So for Megan Pattison, I'm Bob Picozzi. Thanks so much for joining us. We invite you to stay tuned to the tribute to the class of 2002 on Connecticut Public Television. UConn beats Providence 106-41 on senior night. Good night from Gamble.